several photographs of Iranian women before the Islamic invasion circulate on the internet. But I've seen people refute the view that Iran was progressive by saying that this was limited to a small, rich elite in Iran and that the great majority of women had no substantial rights. What is true is the question. It's a very good question. So let's understand Iran properly, in the right context. Not properly will take a lot of time, but in the right context. We know that Iran in the 20th century for a while was ruled by the Shah of Iran, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, who was a US puppet. And he sought to westernize Iran. So let's quickly Google this. Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. How long did it rule? Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, years of rule. From where to where? Okay. From 1941 to 1979. And in between, there was Mohammad Mossadegh, who was in power. But yeah. So let's say this gentleman ruled for 40 years. Okay. Let's say he ruled for 40 years. And he was a very westernized ruler. He ruled for 40 years roughly. Before Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, who was very westernized and liberal, Iran was under a certain kind of, culture for about 1300 years. What kind of culture? Islamic culture, right? Islamic culture, Islamic religion, Sharia law, Turkic rulers who ruled Iran, not Persian rulers, but Turkic rulers who ruled over Iran for centuries. Nadir Shah was a Turk, he was not Persian. The monster who invaded India and massacred 100,000 people in one day in Delhi. He came from Iran, but he was Turkic. He was not Iranian. He was not Persian. So Iran was under the rule of Turks, just like India was under the rule of Turks for centuries. And the religion and culture that was imposed on Iran for 1300 years was non-Aryan. It was the Arabic religion and culture. And in that religion and culture, women are supposed to be covered up and all that stuff. We know how it is, right? So that is the culture that Iran has had for about 1300 years, roughly. Give or take a century. That is a long time to be under that sort of religion and culture. Now, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi tries to change things and he is then in power for 40 years. Do you think he can change everything in 40 years and completely transform the country? He can change some things in some parts of Iran. In the large cities, he can make changes. So what Pahlavi did is that he made it mandatory for Iranian women to not cover themselves with hijabs or burqas or whatever. And this was mostly seen in big cities like Tehran, Mashhad or whatever. But in rural areas, you can't enforce this completely. So in rural areas, the 1300-year-old tradition continued, I suppose, in Iran. Mohammad Reza Pahlavi imposed some restrictions on polygamy, but did not outlaw polygamy completely. He made it legal for women to receive education. Okay, he said women can receive education, girls can receive education. And so girls did get educated in certain disciplines like nursing and whatnot, not all disciplines. But the overall Iranian society, even under Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, was, like they say, patriarchal, male-dominated. Women were supposed to get married at a certain age and so on and so forth. So it is in cities like Tehran and so on that women, wore miniskirts, short skirts, and Western dress, and you had ladies on the beaches of the Caspian Sea wearing swimsuits and all. You had some of that, but that was in the big cities. In the rural areas, you do not have all of that. In the rural areas, life was still pretty traditional. So the great majority of women still lived as per the old traditions, 1300-year old traditions of Iran. In the big cities, Pahlavi did try to make all these reforms, make all these changes, and women did have substantially more rights than before for about 40 years. But some of the changes that Pahlavi made were seen as very drastic, like forcing women to uncover themselves, not wear hijabs or burqas anymore. A lot of women, that's why, because of this forcible change, that's why they supported the 1979 Islamic Revolution. So it's complicated. 40 years isn't enough time to transform a country which has been under one set of laws and rules and culture for 1300 years. You can't do that, right? So yeah, you do see pictures of women in Iran who look like they're dressed in a Western way and so on, but it doesn't tell you the entire story. So the thing is, both pictures are true. Both claims are true, that women were given substantial rights in Iran, at least on paper. And the middle class women and upper class women in the big cities of Iran, they did enjoy a lot more freedom during this time. But also, a lot of women chose not to, partake of these freedoms. It is especially in the rural areas. And in many parts of Iran, in the rural areas, these changes existed only on paper, but they could not be enforced. And then the traditional outlook of many people in Iran, it brought forth the Islamic Revolution, also exacerbated by the fact that Mohammad Reza Pahlavi was an American stooge. So that is the situation. That is, it was complicated. It's not a black or white kind of story. It was complex.